from a confidence standpoint for your team and everybody that is involved in that, no matter if there's points or not, right? Like
absolutely,
all the good guys are still in the field, and you still got to beat them.
Yeah, you still got to. I mean, it's still a cup win in my book, right? I know they don't count it in your all-time stats and all that, but gosh, you still had to beat everybody to do it. And the All-Star race always has something a little bit special to it too, to be able to accomplish that one. So the momentum, the confidence that kind of builds up after kind of a dry spell, to be honest with you, like that radiance through the team, not just the 22 team, but all of Team Penske and Ford. And like it shows that there's some light at the end of the tunnel where we still can do it.
Right.
So it gives you a little bit extra pep in the step going into the 600 this weekend and really into the next few races where we think we could have some good runs.
What's that process been like? Because I think for when I listen to the things that you have said and talked about, it sounds like this North Wilkesboro test was a key ingredient for you guys when you went to Richmond. And now you see Brad and Chris and those guys starting to run good as well. But for you personally and your team, talk to me about that test at North Wilkesboro. Just what was the conversation like before that, and just saying, okay, we got it. This is our shot. We got to try some stuff.
Well, you get one test a year if you're lucky, right? Because I mean, all there is tire test now. There's not really open tests to speak of at all. And those tests get divvied up through the manufacturers and then to the race teams and then to the car numbers, right? And so, when it gets to Team Penske, we got to share it between 3 cars. And so that's our one. And we approached that test as if we were going racing that weekend. Like, this is our chance to actually finally get to work on our cars. Listen, we get 15 minutes of practice. All we got is heights, wedge, and sway bar arms and air pressure to deal. And then even after the race, you know what you want to fix in your car, but you're going to go back there next year when everything else is different, and you're going to say, was it better than last year? How do you really know? Right. You went through this, you don't know. So the test is the only opportunity you have to actually work on your car, try things, get a direction for any racetrack, particularly short tracks for this one. And try to get some direction somehow. And the thing with tire tests that are tough too is you really only get a couple hours to tune on your car, and then they're going to start throwing tires at you. Goodyear, it's Goodyear's test, right? That we're invited to their test. They own the test. They're going to tell us what to do. They just, as a gift, give you a couple hours to make sure your car's driving decent before they start doing it. So you take those couple hours and cherish them because it is everything. So we did that, and then we just started firing tires at it and ran 50-lap runs one after another. And we were able to figure out some things along the way. And the good thing is we finally capitalized on that. So did we have an advantage because of the tire test? Yes. Do other teams have advantages because they go to other tire tests? Absolutely, right? Everybody does that gets to do that, but it's equally spread out throughout the field over the course of a year.
When you did that tire test, did you have any indication that the groove would be on a racetrack like that?
Kevin, the line was on the bottom. If you came off the bottom, especially in 3 and 4, if you came off the bottom 3 feet, you'd wreck. And the 54 did at the test. Got up high, got into loose stuff, and hit the wall. And so I had no indication that this was going to move up the racetrack. I thought it was going to be like every other repave that we go to where it's one groove. And if you get on the outside, you're going to get freight trained.
Right.
And the race was the complete opposite. The top lane was the preferred lane. Yeah. That's where the speed was. And even, of all the tires we tried there in all the long runs, we never tried the option tire, right? The red tire. And we ran the whole race on the red tire. We didn't even run the tire that we did all the testing
on. It didn't look like it was going to be that way in practice. I was fortunate to drive. Right. And when I drove the primary tire, and then you drove the red, like there was definitely some speed difference for that 12 to 15 laps, and then it kind of fell off, and then it plateaued. But it seemed like the primary tire was going to settle in to be the long run tire. I don't know about how you felt in practice, but that's how it felt to me.
You would have thought. I thought the same thing. We ran 60 plus laps on the soft tire, the red tire, in practice, and same thing. Like the first 10 laps, like quite a bit of fall off here. Mm-hmm. And then we just plateaued and ran 90s.
Right.
In the race, cooler out. Maybe that had something to do with it too. Maybe we ran 60s the whole race. Part of the track's moving up a little bit. Maybe you can move around. It's not as slick out there. But the regular tire, the Prime, just wasn't as fast on the front side, and it was equal on the long run, never better.
Right.
So, and if you ever cooled the option tire, it still fired off faster, even being old, than the other tires. So,
do you like it? Not like it? What do you think? Where we landed on the Goodyear tire experiment?
I mean, I think I like that we tried something there. I think it's not a fair shake, because when have you ever had tire fall off at a repave? Even with the old car when we had 900 horsepower, you're not going to get tire fall off at a brand new surface. So is it a fair shake? Like, no. Can you go to Loudon and try it there, or Phoenix, and maybe it's different because there's some fall off there? Maybe there's more fall off because of that. I guess we don't know until we go there.
Is there any reason not to take it to Loudon?
Why wouldn't you? I don't know. Like, as long as the big thing to me is I'm fine with a tire wearing out. I don't want a tire to pop.
Yeah.
Right? Like what we had at Bristol was great because the tire wore out. You had all the indications in the world that she's done.
Yeah.
And pull her in.
Yeah.
And that's good. It's the ones that pop and you clobber the fence out of nowhere. Like, that's what you don't want.
It's never a good interview.
No, it's never a good interview. It's a black eye on everybody. Yeah. It's bad. But no one's going to complain about a tire going to the cords.
Right.
The bottom line is Goodyear's doing too good of a job. Like, their tire is great. If you were to put that on your street car and you can hustle your car, not that you should do that on the road, but if you had that tire on your car, you'd be stoked, right? Yeah. You can just run this thing forever. But for a race scenario, we kind of want it back the other way.
Yeah. And I think that when you talk about that repave, they used the aggregate in the asphalt was a little bit bigger. It's kind of, I think it's got potential to be, with a little bit of age, it seems like that's going to be a pretty racy track.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's pretty racy.
I know we led all the laps, but it wasn't easy to lead them all. Like, there was times that Denny, especially short run, Denny was faster than us for the first 15 laps. They had to hold him off. And there was opportunities for that to happen. The 20 was faster than us the first 15 laps as well. Now, after that, our car was great. After 15 laps, then I can kind of manage the pace. But the first 15 were pretty tough. So, and there was opportunities for him to pass, whether that's because we're up top and he can get air on the bottom and it keeps the racing closer. It is the best short track race we've had.
All-star race or make it a points race? Because I think that the complexion of that race is totally different if you have all the cars on the racetrack. Like when you have to catch lap cars and you have to start around, because if they're single file around the top, and there's 36 cars on the racetrack, all of a sudden it becomes different. I love the all-star race. And I think it should move around and do different things with the all-star race. But I think North Wilkesboro should be a points race. I mean, it's great that we're going to have the all-star race back there next year.
Yeah.
But 400 miles and soft tires and all the cars on the track, I think the complexion of that race in the middle of the day is different. Yeah.
I think racing in the daytime there is probably going to be better. I agree with you on this, Kevin, because North Wilkesboro's got its own image, right, of what it is. Whether it's an all-star race or a points-paying race, I don't think the energy changes in that place.
Right.
I mean, it's packed out. The fans love it. They're so excited to be back there. It doesn't have to be like the all-star glitz and glamour, all the sparkly stuff. I think it can be a regular points race, and everyone would be just excited about being there.
Right.
But that said, I mean, I just like that we're there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where else you'd put the all-star race. Where else would you do it?
Yeah, I think that's a loaded question, right? Like you could combine the Clash and the all-star race and make one overall all-star type exhibition event, so we don't have two. But I know sitting up in that booth and watching you, like the race was great, but watching the burnout afterwards, I mean, I felt like I was on a ladder sitting above your car.
That's cool.
Right? The sound and everything that came with that, the crowd's right up underneath you from the booth. It's just such an intimate location with the size of the racetrack, the way that it's built, it's right in the middle of the mountains. I don't know. It just screams old school NASCAR to me.
That's what I was gonna say. It just screams to like going to like short tracks growing up.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like. It's kind of you're just country roads to get there, right? I mean, yeah, you're right off 421, but like getting to their track off the highway. It's all just back roads to get there. It's not overbuilt or anything like that. It's just a track in the middle of nowhere, just like you grew up racing.
Hey race fans, thanks for watching our video. For all NASCAR on Fox News, content, and the best clips from Fox Sports, be sure to follow and subscribe to our channel.